Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Johnny joined Miyagi-Do during the events of the Karate Kid 30 years later? So this is a continuation to What if Johnny joined Miyagi-Do. If you haven't seen that video, I would recommend you go watch it before continuing this one. So in this timeline, Johnny and Mr. Miyagi would have continued their training over the years. Johnny would find balance. The relationship between Johnny and Sid would also improve. Johnny would finally accept Sid as a father figure. He would work at Sid's company, and eventually he would take over from Sid, so Sid would retire. Johnny would be married, and he would have a wife and son. Johnny would raise Robbie, and he would raise him with the same values that Mr. Miyagi taught him. Robbie would train in Miyagi-Do from a young age, and he would train with Johnny and Mr. Miyagi. Eventually, Mr. Miyagi would pass away, and those events would carry on. But even though Mr. Miyagi passed away, Robbie would continue his Miyagi-Do training to honor Mr. Miyagi's legacy. Johnny and his family would be very successful in this timeline. In this timeline, Cobra Kai wouldn't be around. Daniel would be somewhat successful, and he would run a meat company with Freddy Fernandez. But Daniel and Johnny wouldn't have any interactions together. Daniel wouldn't meet Amanda in this timeline, so Sam and Anthony wouldn't be born, and Danny would marry someone else. Robbie would be one of the popular kids at his school, but he wouldn't hang out with Kyler and his friends. Miguel would still move to the valley, and he would still be at the convenience store. And much like in the original timeline, Kyler and his friends would still be messing with him. But in this timeline, Robbie would be there, and he would see this. So Robbie would stand up for Miguel. Kyler would laugh at Robbie, and Robbie would want to get Miguel out of there. But Kyler and his friends wouldn't want to let them leave, so Robbie would have no choice but to fight back. And he would fight Kyler and his friends using Miyagi-Do, and he would take them down. Miguel would be impressed by Robbie's skills, and he would ask Robbie if he could teach him to defend himself, and Robbie would accept. So Robbie would start training Miguel at his house. He would get Miguel to do chores, and Miguel would think that Robbie was scamming him, but Robbie would show him that he was learning muscle memory, so Miguel would start learning Miyagi-Do, and those events would continue. Johnny would be happy seeing Robbie train Miguel, so Johnny and Miguel would meet, and he would show Robbie and Miguel some moves that Robbie didn't know. Miguel would still be friends with Eli and Dimitri. Kyler and his friends would continue to pick on Miguel, Eli, and Dimitri, but eventually Miguel would have enough, and he would stand up for himself, and he would fight back, so Kyler and his friends would leave them alone. Miguel would continue his training at Miyagi-Do. Eventually Miguel would find out about the All Valley, and he would want to compete, but Johnny would say that Mr. Miyagi didn't like to compete for a trophy, so Miyagi-Do wouldn't compete in this timeline. But Miguel and Robbie would go watch the All Valley, and since Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do didn't compete in this timeline, Xander Stone would still be the All Valley champion. Overall, things would be a lot more peaceful in this timeline. And that is where I'm gonna end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Johnny joined Miyagi-Do during the events of the Karate Kid 30 years later? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.